in an effort to really deal with the MLPA process. Bottom line is it may take court action to forestall the implementation of this until the actual research is done and the fishing community is part of the process.
Thank you.
I have a rebuttal.
Yes, please.
It's okay. It's actually not just a correction. I want to give credit where credit is due. It's really Commissioner Higgins and Pellegrini that are leading the charge with regards to that. So I just want to, that's all.
What is new? What is the new PG&E plant powered by, and which is not yet there? And what is being done about renewable energy?
It's my understanding that PG&E plant is going to be powered by natural gas, primarily, and it's certainly much more efficient than what we've had in the past few years, but is still, to me, a stopgap until we can go with either wave energy or wind or solar, true renewable resource energy production.
Next will be Mike Wilson.
Sure. Well, I think the answer is, I think the question's been answered with regards to the power plant, so I'll just move into renewable energy. We have great renewable energy opportunities with regards to Humboldt Bay. One, of course, is the wave energy project. We know it's coming. PG&E is moving forward with their pilot study. They've got their stakeholders on board. People it has a general positive movement, and that's good. How can we take advantage of that in Humboldt County? Well, we know these businesses are coming, so we're going to have to prepare the landside support for this industry. It would be great if we could think about moving forward with something akin to a business park where these types of businesses will come. We're going to be the vanguard of wave energy on the west coast of North America, and we have to do our best to take advantage of that. The other place we have a place in renewable energy is also in biomass energy production. We have 3 biomass plants in Humboldt County. One is operational. Shots Energy is looking at getting our lines out of Humboldt County to be expanded in terms of the opportunity to export energy from the Humboldt Bay region, and that's something we can look at. And that does have a nexus with Humboldt Bay with regards to chips moving in and out of Humboldt Bay, and so we're going to have to be a part of that. And of course, wind energy is something that's being explored. And of course, now we also have natural gas wells to the south of us as well. So Humboldt County has the opportunity, of being a net exporter of energy, and I think we need to do what we can to assist in that as a district and as a county.
Very good. Susan, would you weigh in on this?
Sure. Yes, the PG&E plant is going to run on natural gas. It will have diesel as a backup in case there's not enough natural gas. But it is going to be much more efficient than the existing one, so hopefully they won't have to use the diesel. I'm going to build a little bit on what Mike had to say. One of the permitted uses for the property right down here is anything to do with energy. It would be an ideal place to service wave energy mills when they break down. And he also mentioned windmills, which are being explored. I want to mention the fact that the Weebkey is a heavy lift vessel. It's currently in at the Schneider dock delivering parts for the PG&E power plant. That dock would also be suitable for bringing in windmill parts. It has unlimited capacity and it's available to us now. And I definitely support the development of any more renewables and whatever we can do to support that.
Thank you. Now the next one is going to be
Richard.
Oh, Richard. I'm sorry. Yeah, keep me honest. Thank you. Richard.
Well, it's probably about
almost a decade ago that I went to a meeting that DG Energy at one time proposed wave energy with wind energy and solar right out here on the peninsula. And there was I didn't see a lot of opposition or hear a lot of opposition at that time. The only thing that might came up was about the wind power and the birds out here. As far as reality, what we're doing is we're burning our byproduct from our sawmills to make energy. And it was a sad thing that the pulp mill did shut down. I know Susan had, she had her issues with the pulp mill, but they were using byproduct that was waste from the sawmills, and they were creating a product out of that. Now, those chips are being burned. They're either being burned here or they're being sent over to Reading to be burned at Wheelabrator to make energy. I don't think that's really efficient. I mean, I think that we really do need to look at closely and be open to the alternatives for wave energy and wind and solar locally.
And the question centers around, do you support renovation of that dock? Any development of that dock and renovation would require outside capital for companies to go further than what the Harbor District has already authorized. And the timeline is unknown for this additions, which is part B of the proposed dock renovation. And the other issues that are addressed in four of the questions are quality jobs with benefits, and how they impact the community. Very simple question, isn't it? Yeah. So instead of taking 3 hours each, we'll do it in the following order. Mike Wilson, Susan Penn, Richard Marks, Dan Hauser. Mike.
Okay. First of all, I want to make a correction Susan said with regards to the district owning that property. We don't actually own most of the property that is that project site. Most of the property is actually owned by the Samoa Townsite Company, so I want to clarify that. I am absolutely in favor of reuse of that property in a business sense, and that actually was the crux of the issue that we have with regards to the district. I don't believe that we really looked at all the options with regards to that because the process was moved forward to look at marine terminal. Now, there's a lot of other things we could be looking at, both within the zoning constraints and outside the zoning constraints. And we allowed ourselves to look outside the zoning constraints of the Timber Heritage project, which is outside the zoning and will require a rezone. So why didn't we open ourselves up in terms of looking for business opportunities within that piece of property that also kind of either push the envelope of the zoning? What I'd have to say is that there are a lot of opportunities that we can look at there, and we should, and I think it was kind of narrow in the way we looked at it. I also disagree with the strategy of attaching the rail-dependent component to that project site. And the reason I disagreed with that is because what we're doing is we're tying the environmental process to that, which I believe is unnecessary because I think it's highly unlikely to occur in terms of connecting to the south through the Eel River Canyon, but also the politics of it. And if we're going to be seeking funding for this, we need to get together on what's going to happen there. And I think what we've created by attaching this highly unlikely and speculative business to it, we're really basically put an anchor on what could be a prosperous business opportunity, and that's how I feel about it. And I believe it is a location where, once again, we can have businesses, we can create jobs. They're all important. I just think that the strategy is incorrect.
Thank you. Exactly 2 minutes. How did you do that?
Magic.
Susan.
Okay. I basically, concur with what Mike said. As far as actually repairing the dock, yes, it's deteriorating. I think that before we do anything to bring it back to life, we need to determine what we're going to be using the land side for, because that will help dictate what kind of a dock we need. Right now they're looking at a 1,000-foot dock. Well, are we going to be bringing in 1,000-foot ships? If not, you know, what are we going to be bringing in? What kind of dock would serve? If we're going to limit it to passenger ships, a different type of dock entirely would be more desirable.